Imagine the energy of 1,000 suns, unleashed in an instant. That is the terrifying power of an atomic bomb. This weapon of unimaginable destruction forever changed our world. But how did we get here? What is it about atoms that gives them such incredible potential for both destruction and progress? In this exploration, we'll journey into the heart of the atom, uncovering the science behind this awesome force. We'll trace the historical footsteps that led to its creation and confront the devastating consequences of its use. Finally, we'll grapple with the sobering question: what if an atomic bomb exploded today? Atoms are the tiny building blocks of everything around us. They are incredibly small, far too tiny to see with our eyes. Inside an atom, there is a core called the nucleus. This nucleus contains even smaller particles called protons and neutrons. The energy holding these particles together is immense. An atomic bomb works by splitting the atom's nucleus in a process called nuclear fission. This splitting releases a tremendous amount of energy in the form of heat, light, and radiation. It's like trying to squeeze a giant spring into a tiny box. Eventually, it bursts free with incredible force. In the 1940s, the world was engulfed in World War II. Scientists, fearing the consequences of Nazi Germany developing such a weapon, raced against time to unlock the secrets of the atom. This top-secret effort, known as the Manhattan Project, brought together some of the brightest minds on Earth. They worked tirelessly, driven by the hope that their creation would end the war. But the ethical implications of unleashing such power weighed heavily on their minds. Little did they know, their invention would forever alter the course of human history. In August 1945, the world watched in horror as the United States dropped atomic bombs on the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The devastation was unlike anything ever witnessed before. Buildings were flattened and entire city blocks were reduced to rubble. Hundreds of thousands of people perished, instantly vaporized by the unimaginable heat or slowly succumbing to radiation poisoning. The scars of that fateful August remain etched in the memory of humanity, a stark reminder of the terrible cost of nuclear war. Section 5. The blast, a wall of destruction. The initial explosion of an atomic bomb creates a massive shockwave. This wave of pressure travels outward at supersonic speeds, flattening everything in its path. Buildings crumble, trees are uprooted, and anything caught in the open is instantly pulverized. The force of the blast is so powerful that it can be felt hundreds of miles away. Those who survived the initial impact often face a terrifying scene of chaos and destruction. The world as they knew it is gone, replaced by a landscape of rubble and despair. Section 6. The heat wave, a city incinerated. The explosion also releases a tremendous amount of heat, creating a searing inferno at the center of the blast. Temperatures can reach millions of degrees Celsius, instantly vaporizing anything within a certain radius. Those farther out are still in danger, as the intense heat can cause severe burns and ignite fires that rage uncontrolled. The air itself becomes superheated, scorching the lungs of anyone who dares to breathe. The heat wave can melt metal, turn sand into glass, and leave behind a city forever scarred by its searing touch. Section 7. The silent killer, radiation's invisible threat. One of the most insidious effects of an atomic bomb is radiation. This invisible killer can travel for miles, contaminating the air, water, and ground. Exposure to high levels of radiation can be deadly, causing radiation sickness, cancer, and birth defects. The effects of radiation can linger for decades, poisoning the environment and making it unsafe for generations to come. The invisible threat of radiation is a stark reminder of the long-lasting legacy of nuclear war. Section 8. Scars on the world, long-term consequences. The detonation of an atomic bomb is not a single event, but the beginning of a long and devastating chain reaction. The initial blast and radiation are only the first blows. The long-term consequences can be even more devastating, impacting the environment and future generations. The radioactive fallout can contaminate water supplies, making them unsafe to drink. It can poison the soil, making it impossible to grow food. And it can cause genetic mutations, leading to birth defects and increased rates of cancer for years to come. Section 9. A World on Edge. The Threat of Nuclear War. The spectre of nuclear conflict has haunted humanity for decades, casting a long and ominous shadow over global affairs. The invention of the atomic bomb ushered in a new era of global anxiety. The sheer destructive power of these weapons was unlike anything the world had ever seen, and it fundamentally changed the nature of warfare and international relations. The Cold War saw the United States and the Soviet Union locked in a tense standoff, each nation wary of the other's intentions. This period was marked by an arms race, with both superpowers amassing vast arsenals of nuclear weapons. Each side stockpiled enough nuclear weapons to destroy the world many times over. The doctrine of mutually assured destruction, or MAD, meant that any nuclear attack by one superpower would result in a devastating retaliatory strike. The threat of nuclear war loomed large, casting a dark shadow over the world. Civil defense drills became a part of daily life, and fallout shelters were constructed in cities and towns across the globe. While the Cold War has ended, the threat of nuclear war remains. Modern international relations are still fraught with tension, and the existence of nuclear weapons continues to pose a significant risk. Several countries possess nuclear weapons, and the number of nations with nuclear capabilities has grown. This proliferation increases the complexity of global security and the potential for conflict. The risk of accidental detonation or intentional use is a constant worry. Even a small miscalculation or technical failure could lead to catastrophic consequences. The consequences of such an event would be catastrophic, with immediate and long-term effects. The devastation seen in Hiroshima and Nagasaki serves as a stark reminder of the horrors of nuclear war, potentially leading to a nuclear winter that could devastate the planet. The aftermath would include severe climate disruptions, widespread famine, and a collapse of ecosystems, making the Earth uninhabitable for future generations. A sobering thought. Imagine a world where a bustling metropolis, teeming with life and energy, is suddenly and violently transformed into a scene of unimaginable destruction. Picture the daily hustle and bustle, the vibrant streets filled with people going about their lives, abruptly halted by an unimaginable catastrophe. The iconic skyline, once a symbol of human achievement, is now a smoldering ruin. Buildings that once stood tall and proud are reduced to rubble, and the cityscape is unrecognizable. The air is thick with smoke and dust, the silence broken only by the cries of the injured and the dying. Emergency responders work tirelessly amidst the chaos, trying to save as many lives as possible, but the scale of the disaster is overwhelming. This is the terrifying reality we face if an atomic bomb were to explode in a major city today. The sheer power of such a weapon would obliterate everything in its vicinity, leaving nothing but devastation in its wake. The immediate devastation would be catastrophic, with millions of lives lost in an instant. The infrastructure of the city would be completely destroyed, making rescue and recovery efforts nearly impossible. But the long-term consequences would be even more far-reaching, with global implications for the environment, economy, and the very fabric of our civilization. The environmental impact would be severe, with radiation poisoning the land and water for generations. The economic fallout would be felt worldwide, as markets crash and supply chains are disrupted. Society as we know it would be forever changed, as the psychological trauma and loss of life leave deep scars on humanity. Section 11. Our shared responsibility. Choosing a different path. In a world that is increasingly interconnected, our choices have far-reaching consequences. The path we choose today will shape the world of tomorrow. The atomic bomb stands as a stark reminder of humanity's capacity for both great ingenuity and terrible destruction. It is a symbol of the dual-edged sword that is scientific progress. While it has the potential to bring about unprecedented advancements, it also carries the risk of catastrophic outcomes. It is a sobering testament to the power of science and the devastating consequences of its misuse. The aftermath of such destruction is a haunting reminder of the responsibilities that come with great power. We must tread carefully, ensuring that our pursuit of knowledge does not lead us down a path of ruin. We must never forget the lessons of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, where the shadows of the past loom large. These cities stand as silent witnesses to the horrors of nuclear warfare, urging us to remember the cost of conflict and the value of peace. The shadows of the past remind us of the fragility of peace and the urgency of preventing nuclear war. They call upon us to honor the memories of those lost by striving for a world where such tragedies never occur again. Peace is not merely the absence of war, but the presence of justice, understanding, and mutual respect. The future is not predetermined, it is ours to shape. Every decision we make, every action we take, contributes to the tapestry of our collective destiny. By working together, we can build a future that reflects our highest aspirations and deepest values. We have the power to choose a different path, one that is guided by wisdom, compassion, and a commitment to the common good. It is within our reach to create a world where the potential of the atom is used to heal, not harm, to build, not destroy. One that leads away from the brink of destruction and towards a future where the power of the atom is harnessed for the betterment of humanity. By investing in renewable energy and sustainable technologies, we can ensure that our scientific advancements serve to uplift and empower all people. The choice is ours, and the time to act is now. Let us seize this moment to forge a new path, one that honors the lessons of the past and embraces the promise of the future. Together, we can create a world where peace and progress go hand in hand.